Hi everyone, welcome back to unboxing again. Today we will show you unboxing the coffee machine, new arrival.
So hello everybody. I think I'll stand up rather than sit behind this box. I think for those watching are probably coffee lovers or wishing to learn more about coffee. And for myself, I've been drinking coffee, I guess, since the age of maybe 13, 14. My father used to have drip coffee. And when I think about in the past how terrible it was, he used to enjoy it. And then there's people that drink Nescafe, and then we've tried the various different machines. And actually this one probably, say now, will probably be the last one we actually buy, unless there's something else that comes out. By the way, Sage is a Swiss brand. It's actually made by a company in Australia called Breville. And Breville are really good at making coffee machines. They make the Oracle Touch. That's the high end that costs $2,000 or maybe more. And they've actually brought it down to this one. In fact, what we're going to show, and I'll move it around to the back here where you can actually have a look.
It's a bit heavy. This
is a machine that really does a lot more than the predecessor, and we're going to show you the predecessor as well. And the motivation for doing it is because we can do more settings, but actually the frothing of the milk is automatic. And Tanya is not so good at frothing milk, and they've linked it to me. So I thought this is a good investment, so really anybody can get the same results on this one.
Okay, can you turn around this side, please?
There's nothing much really else.
This side. I want to show my friends. Okay, thank you. Sage.
So the nice thing about this, the inventions, they actually have the heating coil here is much smaller than the block before. It takes about 3 seconds to heat up. The actual tampering, or the actual grind, is automatic. And that's a nice thing, is that when you actually have a coffee, the beans that you have, never buy powder, always buy the actual bean, and you grind it and you actually drink it within 2 minutes. The reason being is because of the oil actually evaporates in the beans. Some of the beans you might get, for example, at Starbucks, tend to be over roasted, and they're very greasy on the outside, and that's really what you want, is on the inside of the bean. So when you grind it and then you within 2 minutes make the coffee, the actual creamer, the brown on the top, the cream on the top, really comes from the oils, and that's what gives it the taste. All coffee beans are not good. And there's a lot of discussions about how to store coffee beans, whether you put it in the fridge or whether you don't. We don't, but we make sure we seal it. In fact, we seal both the packet and also you'll see on the machine it's got a seal on the top. As far as the froth making, this is automated. That's one of the main reasons why we got this one. And the fact it's programmable as well, because we live at 1,650 meters above sea level in Switzerland, and the water boils at a lower temperature than it does if you're on sea level. It's around about every 150 meters it drops 1 degree centigrade. So actually the water boils probably about 98 degrees centigrade here versus at sea level. Okay. So we can make adjustments for that.
Take a look inside.
So we actually bought this about a week or so ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. We haven't had time to actually unpack it because we've been so busy. So Sage, as with all these things, they give you cleaning kits and give you instructions. There's also a water filter as well. We're actually in a very hard water area. And it's about 16 on the French scale. Actually, they say it's medium to hard. And the problem in Switzerland is the water is terrible for making coffee. But when you actually use the charcoal filter, it's much better. And in fact, what I've been doing is testing over the years which water is best. And in fact, to give you a hint, having tested pretty much all the water bottles in Switzerland and other countries, the best one really is around Rome, where they have Ferraro and Orveto. And they come from volcanic water. That makes the best. So people wonder why the Italian coffee is so good. It's partly because that they have wood roasted beans, and also they use normal roasting. It's partly because of a big part because of the water, and also the espresso machine itself, and then the whole method behind how they go and do it. Put them all together, and then you get a very nice solution. So here we have the cup. This actually is for a double. For the people that are just, this is really hard. This one's hard in. So this one here is actually, they may give you 2 types of cups. One is actually for the beginners, and one is more for the advanced. This is for your temper. Then they have all the other bits and pieces for cleaning. So these are baskets. There we go, this is what I'm looking at here. So on the baskets, when you start, just like anything when you do a sport or any sort of profession, you have to learn from scratch. So here we have the basket. This one is called a dual wall, which means it's really for the beginners. You can't really get it wrong. So they have it, but they've only got one hole on the back of this where it comes out. So if you see this, it's really for the beginners. This one is also a dual wall, so that's for 2 shots, so for 2 people. This is a dual wall for a single person. Again, it's really for when you're beginning. And then the people that are more advanced, they actually have holes, micro holes in this one for a single shot. And what's in the basket here is actually for 2, and we use this one. Okay, so those are the basics.
Okay, it's good.
And now I need to give me a hand, Tanya. So you can hold this.
Okay. Okay, I will do this
There's a reason.
one.
Okay.
Okay.
So this,
And open.
Tanya, you can pull this out.
Okay.
But we don't want to break it because the whole machine is going to go away. We use the same box, hopefully.
Wow. I think the sign is the same old one.
Yeah, should be.
Oh, okay, good.
So here's the machine itself. You also get a nice little steel cup with it. Maybe you can undo that.
Okay.
Everybody. And here's the grinder that fits on the top. You can also tell the old version and the new version is that the first version of Breville machines or whatever it's branded in your country, so they brand this one Sage in Switzerland, so it's under license from Breville. They have, the original version didn't used to have this, it was actually a square box. And the reason why they changed it was because when you pour water in the back, I used to get water here and others, and it gets into the grind and everything gets wet and it destroys it. So you have to clean the whole thing out. This one is sealed, which is nice, so that means that your coffee doesn't get old. So when you actually want to install it, you just push it in here and you just click it to close. So turn to lock, now it's locked. So you put your coffee in here and then that seals it. People sort of say, oh, make it bigger, but really it's silly. You don't put too much coffee in there because this will last probably for us for about 3 weeks. And then we just refill it and it seals it. So in the back of this machine, I want to take all of these bits of stickies off for protection. So here's the water. The one here, in fact, this one, the new version, they got the instructions. Can they see okay on the camera?
Okay.
So here they give you instructions how to put the water filter in. This one. These are rather expensive, $25 to $30 each. It's got carbon in it. In fact, what I was trying to do is to find if I can open it and replace the carbon myself. And really what the carbon does, it just moves any impurities out, calcium it takes out, because what happens otherwise you're going to get calcium build-up. They do have a cleaning cycle. If you want to get the calcium out, you can buy the bottle. In fact, we have one we'll show you, which is more just like an acid. You can use vinegar as well. They probably won't tell you to recommend it. You're just going against calcium. Calcium is alkaline, vinegar is acidic, and therefore what it does dissolve it dissolves the calcium. We have the same problem in our house where we've got to watch out with all our machines so that calcium doesn't build up. So this is where this fits inside here. It's easy to go and do. And then put this one down like that. And then this is the tray. So the difference of this and the other machine, we'll show you as we sort of set this thing up.
Can you show in front?
Yeah, well, what we're going to do is we're going to move over now to the kitchen. So we're going to turn off and then we're going to go to the kitchen now. Okay? So let's go to the kitchen.